जैसे हमने लास्ट वीडियो में डिस्कस किया था, JavaScript is a programming language used for front-end development. Today, JavaScript is used in all kinds of front-end development. It practically runs everywhere. फोन हो, टैबलेट हो या लैपटॉप हो, लेकिन इन सब की शुरुआत स्टैटिक टाइपिंग से हुई थी. So let's understand this further with our expert.
A web page can be static or dynamic. Static literally means something which does not change, and so does a static web page. The information that a static web page displays remains the same every time anyone visits on that page. On the other hand, dynamic means something that keeps changing, and so is a dynamic web page. The information on a dynamic web page keeps on changing because the data is fetched from the server. The server interacts with the database which maintains and manages the data. So whenever the contents of a database change, the dynamic web page also reflects those changes. Alright, let's get back to where we all started, the upGrad's website. So we are now on upGrad's website. As you can see here, this is a web page on a website and we call it the home page. Why? Because it is the first web page, or it is the default page that is shown when any user visits on this website. So this serves as a home from where you can enter other rooms of information. A well-designed dynamic web page is like a jigsaw puzzle. It has three pieces: HTML, CSS and JavaScript. You take the first piece of the puzzle, which is HTML. What it does is it adds content to your web page by defining the structure of the elements, such as displaying a button on a web page. So you see this button over here? This is what is being displayed by the HTML. You then take the next piece for this puzzle, which is CSS. Now what this does is it beautifies the elements present on your web page by adding a layout describing how these elements should look, such as what should be the color, what should be the size and other properties for a button on a web page. So as you can see that this button is in color, so this is defined by CSS. Finally, you solve this jigsaw puzzle by fitting in the last piece, which is JavaScript. JavaScript helps to make the web pages interactive with the user, such as by determining what should happen when the user clicks on a button. So the user in this case provides a set of instructions in JavaScript, which is the programming language understood by all browsers. So now let's see what happens when you click on this button. So you are landed to a different page, right? So this is something which is taken care by JavaScript. Be it handling events like clicking on a button to pop up a dialog box, navigating to a different page, creating special effects like rollover or rollout, adding graphics and animation to a web page, or validating if the user has entered correct inputs while filling out a sign-up form on some website. JavaScript can be used entirely everywhere. Without JavaScript, a web page remains static and it cannot interact with other web pages. Thus, JavaScript helps you to modify a web page at runtime, thereby helping you make dynamic web pages, which we have already discussed about. Now that you have witnessed the importance of JavaScript, are you still wondering why you need to learn it? Well, besides all the advantages and features that we have discussed until now, JavaScript also forms the foundation for most of the popular libraries and frameworks such as Angular, React, jQuery, Vue, Backbone, etc., which makes the development of complex applications very simple and very easy. Well, we are not going to learn any of those right now. So don't get distracted. Just remember that JavaScript is the base for learning other bigger stuff. So if you are planning to become a front-end developer, JavaScript is something that you should and must know.
क्या आपके CV में HTML और CSS के स्किल्स हैं? Let us know in the comments. और JavaScript ऐड करने की जर्नी तो आपने स्टार्ट कर ही दी है, तो उसे कंटिन्यू रखने के लिए सब्सक्राइब कीजिए और इस मॉड्यूल पे बने रहिए. मिलते हैं अगली वीडियो में.